Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.
We have reached week 9 of the high school football season, and the teams serious about winning a league championship have come around the far turn, and down the home stretch they have gone to the whip. And Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week has 2 of those teams in their sights. Tonight, from Elk Grove High School, the Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack coming in to take on the host Elk Grove Thundering Herd in what amounts to as a game for first place in the Delta League. Good evening and welcome to the Thundering Herd Stadium here on the campus of Elk Grove High School. I'm Will James, along with the Imperator of Analysis Hall of Famer Jim Domino, and certainly conditions right now are primed for what we consider a championship game.
Well, it couldn't be better. We got a great night, little to no wind, big crowd. And like you said, Will, the Delta's on the line. If you recall way back 6-7 weeks ago, we said that live on TV. We felt 3 or 4 teams could win this league, if not more. And it's coming down the wire between 3 teams, Davis, Cosumnes, and Elk Grove. A lot of things going to be settled here tonight. 2 high-powered offense, running versus passing. So we should have a great football game.
Well, first-year head coach Andrew Betancourt of the visiting Wolfpack has his team positioned at 6-2 and done a fine job in his rookie season coaching Cosumnes Oaks, and veteran head coach John Heffernan of the Thundering Herd for many years, highly successful at Burbank. Quite a contrast in the veteran coach and the newcomer coming head-to-head for what amounts to the league title here in the Delta. Let's take a look briefly at the last meeting between these 2 teams. We can see that there was a fourth quarter comeback. It keyed a dramatic victory. Running backs Damian Allen of Elk Grove and Jacob Track of Cosumnes Oaks both had big games in a wild finish to wrap up that game. And Lauren Goodman will be filling in the details on exactly how that game played out. Now, the last outings for these 2 teams certainly contrasting for what we're talking about. No result based on a bye week for the Wolfpack, but the previous week in week 7 they got clipped in an upset, falling to Franklin. But not the story last week for the Herd in their game against Franklin.
Well, the Herd went crazy early. That triple option in their conglomerate running backs went wild. Harris, Frazier, Hall, Allen had all big nights, winning 60-13. And like I said, they scored and scored often early and made that a runaway.
We've got 2 teams that know how to put points on the board. And let's take a look at the impact players for Andrew Betancourt's Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack. They have got plenty on the top shelf.
Well, let's start with those prowling wolves. And Anthony Grigsby having a phenomenal year, passing for 1,800 plus yards, 25 touchdowns, and 7 picks. Ishmael Reberg having a big year at 8 touchdowns as a receiver. Miles Cannon, they're all league. Big tackle up front being recruited. Bear Williams leading that defense and plays a little running back. Isaiah Byers leading the team in tackles with 82, having a great year. Brandon Jennings starting 2 ways at wideout, one of the top DBs in the league. Now, the Herd Drovers, of course, are led by, of course, quarterback Harris, running that triple option. And boy, he can run it. Look at that. Yes, he's gone for almost 1,000 yards, Will, having a great year. Hunter Hall at running back now, and 2 tough dynamic backs. Cade Jordan leading that defense with 20 tackles and 3 sacks. And one of the top linebackers, Jack Spidhorse, all league last year, leading that defense. Kalani Riddig, 28 tackles, 2 interceptions along the way in a tough defense. And of course, Jeffrey Brown on that defensive line also leading the way.
Well, we have the table set for you, and a festive atmosphere it is here at Elk Grove High. It's homecoming, so all the color and pageantry of that event will certainly be in the mix tonight. But the important thing is this ball game and who wants the gold most and the Delta League title. Stay with us. When we come back, Lauren Goodman will add her special touch to this big game tonight. Stay with us.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Selfie. Nailed it.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Nice to have you with us this evening for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. We're in Elk Grove, where the host Thundering Herd taking on the visiting Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack in a battle for first place in the Delta League. Let's now bounce it down to field level and join our partner, Lauren Goodman. Goody?
Thanks, Will. This week I got an opportunity to meet both coaches and sit down and get to talk to them. But coming in for the visiting Wolfpack, they're led by first-year guy Andrew Betancourt. Now, he is spunky, has a lot of energy, and something say a new fresh breath of air at Wolfpack Stadium. Now, he's coming in his first year, and he's 6-2 on the season. Some people did not expect that. Now, he guided the Wolfpack over a major victory upset over the Monterey Trail Mustangs. Then he came back and followed up with a Saturday matinee and took a road victory over Jesuit and has the Wolfpack in this championship game hungrier than ever. Now, for the home herd, they are led by third-year guy John Heffernan. Now, John, he's coming into the season very eager, energized, and very comfortable in his position now. Third year at the Herd, but he had 13 seasons with Burbank coming in at 119 wins and 67 losses. He had 9 win seasons 5 times. His best season came in 2012, where he was 12-1, and he has an overall playoff record of 9-11. Now, the Delta League has a new series that has lived up to all of the hype. Last year, we got an opportunity to catch it on Game of the Week, actually, where these two teams battled it out in a fourth quarter thriller. Now, Jacob Track came out and scored 2 big touchdowns to give the Wolfpack an edge, and they were able to complete a long field goal as we go to the flashback right here. Now, this is the long field goal that came from the Pack, giving them a lead in the fourth with 10 minutes left in the game. Now, coming in, Allen scored a short 15-yard field goal. Easy touchdown, easy score, took it to the house, giving the Herd an advantage. But now he comes right back in that triple option, scoring a quick 2-yard touchdown and giving them a lead. Now, no one expected, as the Wolfpack came down and made a run. We have Nick Wallenstein, who came and got a pick 6 and stunned the Wolfpack crowd, completing a 27-17 victory as the Herd were able to come back in a big-time fourth quarter. We have everything leading up right here, right now, and the matchup, we'll say, will be the championship for the Delta. Will.
Well said, Goody. What a thriller that was indeed, and I'm quite sure that none of the returning players on either squad have forgotten how rapidly and abruptly that game turned around. Don't know if we'll have that kind of a conclusion tonight, but certainly this is a game that we have anticipated for several weeks. Let's take a look at the Delta League standings to get a more accurate picture of where these two teams are and the importance of tonight's game, Jim.
There you have it. Elk Grove and Cosumnes both with only 1 loss, one coming in at 4-1, one at 3-1, and Davis right there with them at 3-1. And then followed by Jesuit and Pleasant Grove, Franklin and Sheldon. And there you see the overall records. And of course, tonight will be a big, huge game with the winner having to be in the driver's seat. And Cosumnes and Davis have to hook up. Elk Grove has a non-league game next week, so if they take care of business tonight, they can settle this title right here in Elk Grove.
Well, let's see what the other teams are doing around the Delta here in Week 9 besides this Elk Grove Cosumnes Oaks matchup, because those games are of vital importance as well.
Well, there we have it. Look at that. We got the Davis-Franklin ball game going on as we speak. We got Jesuit visiting Sheldon, and certainly right there we have Pleasant Grove and Valley hooking up in a non-leaguer. Davis, of course, has got to win, and you can't take Franklin for granted, right?
Well, Week 10 is next week, and there's the remaining games up on the docket for the contenders, and there's certainly one there that looks tense to me.
Well, that bottom one is big-time tense. If Cosumnes takes care of business here tonight, they'll settle it all with Davis. And Davis has got to go to Cosumnes next week. Elk Grove, of course, as a non-leaguer versus Oak Ridge. They'll go up to Oak Ridge in a non-leaguer and maybe rest some people, get ready for the playoffs.
Now, refocusing on tonight's game, there's keys and matchups that I know you have taken great pleasure in isolating for us.
Well, yes, let's start with MPT. And over the course of the season, we've seen mistakes, penalties, and turnovers play a big role in the outcome of these football games. And I know tonight teams want to avoid those MPTs because they can hurt you. The Herd ball control with that triple option. They get the football and led by quarterback Harris, who has almost 1,000 yards coming in here running. They can control the ball with a host of good running backs, keep the ball away from you, and drive the field with that ball control run game. And, of course, controlling the LOS. Which line is going to control the LOS? Is that pass blocking line of Cosumnes or that run blocking line of Elk Grove going to control the line of scrimmage? Matchups to watch. Wolfpack receivers versus the Herd secondary. And I'll tell you what, Wolfpack has 4 or 5 outstanding receivers with big-time speed. The Herd secondary will be tested. And you know what? The passing game versus the running game. And when you do that, you got the passing game of Cosumnes versus that solid running game, of course, of the Herd. And the Herd like to control that clock, have good game management. So we got run versus pass.
Run versus pass. Yeah, we're going to see plenty of both in tonight's ball game. It's homecoming here this evening at Elk Grove High. Crowd still coming in, enjoying the festivities and the overall event that also featured a parade earlier today. But tonight, the focus on the field and on the outcome of tonight's game with the Delta League title at stake. Don't wander off. When we come back, we'll check out tonight's opening kickoff and look at starting lineups in tonight's clutch game. Stay with us.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Nice to have you with us this evening here for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. A clutch Delta League battle moments away from kicking off as the Thundering Herd tonight plays host to the invading Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack. And now, our national anthem. The Elk Grove Marching Band with another beautiful rendition of our Star-Spangled Banner, setting the stage for tonight's open in this Delta League showdown. Elk Grove and Cosumnes Oaks. They both enter play with 6-2 records. Elk Grove 4-1 in league play. Cosumnes Oaks at 3-1 in league play. And looking over their shoulders, the Davis Blue Devils at 7-1 overall. And looking to move up. Our game officials tonight, assigned by the NCOA. Wearing the white cap, Chris Gwinnip. He's working with umpire David Wilson, head linesman Andrea Barber. Eddie Cervantes, our line judge this evening, and serving as our back judge tonight, Adam Reed Craver. Chris Gwinnip getting things fair and square. The herd will kick off from our right to our left. Twin returners dispatched deep for the Wolfpack. "75 degrees at game time, very pleasant, gorgeous weather, and we are underway. Kickoff bounding into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. It'll come out 1st and 10 from the Wolfpack 20. Well, I suppose that's an optimal outcome, Coach Domino, when there's no run back. You park it in the end zone and...
Well, that's the way to start it, and let them have, if they're going to drive the field, they're going to have to drive an 80-yard field. So that's playing it safe. When you got a good kicker, you put it in the end zone.
The Wolfpack wearing their road white tops, trimmed in the orange, and navy trousers. And of course, Elk Grove with their traditional navy blue and gold. So here we go, first play from scrimmage from the 20. Anthony Grigsby, the outstanding junior QB, calling signals for Cosumnes Oaks. Turn and give, and a short yardage on 1st down. And we'll look here at our starting lineup. Grigsby in the backfield with the excellent Christian Ridgway, Ishmael Rayberg, and the wides King and Ramos and Jones. No gain, 2nd and 10. Wolfpack taking quite a while in their huddle because we got a little infraction here, and the walk-off finally being ushered, and the pack is going to be burnt here for
formation on the offense. That penalty is
Thank you very much, Chris. Okay. Wipe the slate clean. Starting over here. 1st and 10. Grigsby to throw. He fires left. Has a hookup for short yardage. Small bite there.
A great tackle by that Jordan, Cade Jordan, the outside backer.
There's the Elk Grove defense, Jim. And you know they rely heavily on that down 3 to jam while they leave the tackling to this quartet of linebackers, and there's some good ones there, led by Archuleta, the team's top tackler. Gain of 5, 3rd and 5. Moses Alonjo with that reception for 5, but whistles are going to kill this play. Delay of game, so evidently the Wolfpack not synchronized at the outset here. A good crowd continuing to file in. 3rd and 10. Back to their starting point. Out of the pistol, fire deep. Got a man out there, incomplete, over the wrong shoulder. And that'll bring up 4th and 10. Intended receiver, Ishmael Rayberg.
Well, they run those deep routes. There was no checkoff, man, to go to, Will. They run the deep routes, and Elk Grove dropped 5 into deep coverage. There was nowhere to go to check off the football.
Okay, they show punt formation. And Kevin Duarte to do the honors. Single safety stationed at the midfield stripe. Boy, long count. A soft pooch bounding shy of midfield and trickling into Elk Grove territory. And it's going to be outstanding field position upcoming for the herd. 34-yard punt. So a key stop on the first series. Credit the Elk Grove defense and some inefficiency by the pack. 2 penalties, or was it 3?
Well, one was turned down. They had 2 delay of game penalties and an illegal procedure in the first series of downs, Will.
Shaky start. So motion shown. Hall has the pitch, trying to get outside wide right. Cannot. May have even lost a bit. See where they spot him. The line of scrimmage was the 46. I'm not sure he got there. We'll take a look on this replay.
Yeah.
Loss of 1. Excellent lateral containment by that Wolfpack defense. Another pitch, wide right. A bit better, but still very well contained. Short yardage, maybe a 3-yard pickup. Well, 3rd and 7 upcoming.
They're running to the short side of the field, Will. And Cosumnes D, give them credit. They get to the football very quickly with Fonts, Mays, and Brown getting to the football, and they don't have far to go to the short side of the field.
Make it 3rd and 9. They spot that at the 47. So tough D initially in this series. Smith tosses to the outside, running room, 1st down yardage. And how about that? Ashton Briggs. And our officials will confer.
Well, let's see what we got here. Here you see a pitch to Briggs, and he goes outside, securing the 1st down, and going to see some late action after the whistle, I think. Let's take a look.
11 yards on the carry, and we'll see what Chris Gwinnett has to say here. That was a 3rd and 9 play, and they carried for 11, but we shall see. This is a beautiful evening tonight here in Elk Grove and around the area.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 by each team. Personal foul on the offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. Those penalties will offset. It's going to bring up personal.
Okay, so each team commits an infraction, they offset.
But rather than replay the down, Will, they both occurred during dead ball, so they've moved the chains.
1st and 10, Herd in Wolfpack territory at the 42. Inside running is stuffed. 5 tacklers right there.
Well, once again, if you're going to run the football, and I think that Cosumnes defense is just going to say, we're getting to the football, and we want you to throw. We know you don't want to throw. You haven't thrown many this year. You're 90% run, so we're going to put a lot of people in the box and get after you.
No gain, 2nd and 10. To the near side this time. Well defended, what a play. Boy, I mean to tell you, that was shut down beautifully with secondary help from Mathis, number 1.
Well,
or I should say,
once again, they run that pitch well to the short side of the field.
They lose half a yard. Let's call it 3rd and 11. Tough D by the pack. Passing down, Carter flushed and dropped. Not a sack, but maybe a 1-yard pickup, and excellent D in that series. So both teams have slammed the door against the other in the opening series.
Well, it's almost like a boxing match where they seem to be feeling one another out. And as you look at this,
So Petrusek on to punt for the Herd from the 45. Gets it away under some pressure. And they let it bounce. And it trickles into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, the Herd had an opportunity to down that ball inside the 5, Will. And to me, that ball should have been picked up inside the 5 and put them in a hole instead of on the 20.
Well, they net 22 on the punt, but the roll results in the touchback. So, second time the Wolfpack starts from their 20. We're just underway here at Elk Grove High for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. 7:38 remaining early on, no score, so settle in. This one will be intense. Boy, these defenses have been up to the mark. They get carried to the 24 or so.
Well, Ridgeway didn't have much room. Give Ridgeway credit because there was nowhere to go, no running lanes, etc. But look at this. He did pick up about a couple of 2 or 3.
He's having a heck of a season. He's run for 752 yards, averaging 7.8, and he's carried for 8 touchdowns. The carry to the 23 will make it 2nd and 7. Triple wideouts to the left.
Unbalanced line to the right, almost, not quite.
Well, the whistles have been active thus far. Another delay, gee whiz. -10 on a pair of 5-yard delay of game penalties, so.
Well, between the 2 illegal procedures and the 2 delay of games, they've got 20 yards of penalties, and first-year coach Betancourt's got to get those plays in quicker.
So brings up a 2nd and 13, football back at the 18-yard line. Looks like the same formation upcoming. Grigsby having a terrific year, looks left and fires out there, overthrown by quite a way, incomplete. 3rd and 13. I imagine there's some early game jitters out there, perhaps a bit more with the visitors on the road under their rookie coach.
Well, again, they've had rest for 2 weeks, Will. And sometimes you can have that rest, but you're not in tempo yet. You're not used to, you're used to normally playing week in, week out.
Boy, they're taking a lot of time getting out of the huddle and getting up to the line. They've already been smacked with 2 delay of game penalties. And looky here. Oh, was it a timeout? And it was. Taken by Cosumnes Oaks, trying to make certain they're on the right page. We'll be right back for more of the hometown sports game of the week.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my God, yes.
Right?
I mean, like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, so this saved me.
I really believe in you,
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
Welcome back. The Wolfpack comes out of the timeout, looking at a 3rd and 13 here as we've reached midway first at the 6:41 mark. 3 wideouts to the left. Grigsby looks that way, hitches, fires, got a man out there, but it's underthrown and broken up. Coverage on the play was tight. There were 2 receivers and 4 defenders the breakup by Matthew Kendall.
Well, the receiver's wide open, Will. It was just underthrown. He's got to release the ball earlier. He's holding the ball too long. Grigsby's holding it. That would have been a big play there. He had him open early.
Take another look at the play and you'll see the ball was underthrown.
Here's Grigsby back to throw. He's got a man wide open, as you see.
Well, Duarte and punt formation, but whistles are going to abort this play. That marks the third delay of game in the opening 5.5 minutes.
Well, unofficially, Will, that has to be a record in our 22, 23 years. I mean, three delay of game penalties in 5 minutes and 26 seconds.
High snap, he's up to get it. Riddick, the solo safety, calls for a fair catch and takes it in midfield. So, another stop, 37 yards, no return on the punt. That was effective, but 1st and 10 upcoming for the explosive Elk Grove triple option offense, and they open shop from the CO 49.
Well, I don't think we're going to see it, but if you had a play action on 1st down, what a time to do it.
We'll see. Single wideouts to each side. Up the middle, Allen with the carry. He's got a little bite as he reaches the 45. We'll give him about 4 on the play. 2nd and 6. Boy, this is just a picturesque, lovely evening out here in Elk Grove for late October and a Delta League battle for 1st.
Certainly is.
Carter keeps, slides through a hole and has a big gain for 1st down yardage inside the CO 35.
Harris ran a speed option that time with no dive fake, and they gave him the running lane. And if you see it again, you'll see a huge running lane for Harris. Huge running lane. Nice job.
Gain of 11 on the play. The herd on the move here at the 5:35, still midway 1st. He keeps it and darts through a hole and finally dropped, getting inside the 25. Boy, he's a small, diminutive, shifty back, sometimes tough to locate.
Well, he is. He fakes well, and he's kind of the version of, he's kind of little mini Eddie LeBaron type of guy. And I'll tell you this, he accelerates. And if you're not there filling that lane, he's up the field.
Well, he just ran for 11 and then 10 more on that play. 1st down for the herd, creeping closer. There's some motion. Harris pitches this time. Well defended. Nice lateral containment out there. And no running room that time.
Well, if you looked at that, there was the pitch ratio with Briggs. Of course, young Briggs hasn't played a lot this year, and the pitch ratio was way off, and running it to the near sideline.
Ashton Briggs filling in for the injured Trayvon Frazier. Dropped inside the 15-yard line. Nice deception that time out of that triple op.
Well, at Harris, he hits the hole quick. There you see Harris once again picking up yardage, and he's 3rd and a half a yard. Will, it's been Harris, Harris, Harris in this drive.
Football just inside the Cosumnes Oaks 15-yard line. Double wide to the right. Not this time. That play was stuffed.
He got stuffed, but he didn't need much, Will.
He probably made it.
If they give him motion, forward motion, he made it.
Damian Allen, a tough back. They move the chains. Another first down for the Herd.
Well, it goes in and out.
Clock rolling with 3.5 to go in a rapidly played first quarter. That play strung out to the 10 and inside the 10. Let's take another look. 8th play of the drive upcoming. Well, one of your keys, as always, is who's going to win the LOS, and by the nature of this drive, so far the Herd has got the edge.
It certainly is. Look at the big splits on the right side.
Caught in the backfield and dropped. They let the fake man go through and grabbed Harris.
Well, I think Harris would like to have that back on that decision, Will. Really, give it to that first man.
Let's take another look.
Nothing there.
Tough D right there. Third and 7, football parked at the 11. Whistles are going to kill this play. It was starting out to be sweep to the left, but someone got caught.
Well,
Miles Cannon checking back into the Wolfpack lineup. So the Herd draws its first penalty out to the 16, -5. We're looking at a 3rd and 12. Less than 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Carter throws on the run.
Yeah, that's a nice job. Ishmael Ryberg broke that up, Will.
Terrific D right there. It's going to bring up 4th and about 12. We'll see what the Herd wants to go with here. They probably are close enough to try for a field goal. Looks like they're lining up for it. Okay, Aiden Gardner from the 23, a 33-yarder on the way, got distance, got it. Gardner buries a field goal from 33, and the Herd is on the board. So the drive fizzles, but the special teams come through.
Well, he had plenty. He had enough to kick 40. That could have gone 43, Will.
I agree. No, he had plenty on that, and there's virtually no wind factor tonight. And that one carried accurately for the force behind it. So 3-0 Elk Grove. They're lined up and ready to kick. And if that doesn't send a message to the Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack, then I don't know what would. This game is of major importance, with a stake of the Delta League Championship on the table. Kickoff high to the goal line from the 1. To the far side, picking up a boy. Foot race at midfield, a cutback and down on a stagger and a fall. What an effort there by Ramos. Jaden Ramos showed some speed there, and he was able to turn up the field, but we're gonna have something bring this back. A 58-yard return, but the flag will neutralize it. Great effort there by Ramos.
Get off your feet. Get hydrated.
Yeah. Well,
penalties, Jim, have been damaging here in this first quarter for the visitors.
Very damaging. Unofficially between 30 and 40 yards here as, let's see what they say. By the way, on that last drive, we had an 11-play drive, 49 yards. They took 4:40 off the clock for the Herd to score.
Well, the penalty's going to set them back to the 11-yard line. First down. Left side run with good daylight and some good power. He knocks over a tackler and reaches the 25.
Yeah. That's what we came to see. Ridgway with a great run. That's his best run tonight.
Oh, we've been waiting to see him. We know how good he is, and he shows why here. 25, Christian Ridgway just knocked over that tackler straight up. 13 on the carry. First down, Wolfpack. Operating from the 23-yard line. They needed that. Triple wide receivers to the near side. A toss, though, to the left. Pretty well shut down going to the short side. Not much running room out there.
He managed to pick up a couple, as you say, though, Will. There's not much room to make very many moves out there, barely picking up a couple.
Ridgway, a tough back. Gets two out to the 25. We'll make it 2nd and 8.
Well, we talked about line of scrimmage control and who's going to win the battle up front. And now we're going to find out if Cheeseman, Giron, Carranza, and Cannon can rise to the occasion for the Wolfpack.
Well, 3 wide receivers to the near side. Grigsby tucks it and tries to get away and gets a couple, but grabbed and dropped after a short gain. Well, Ernest Blake of the Herd on top of that. Watch number 45 here, and his teammates shut this down.
That's good hustle to the ball, good pursuit by that Herd defense, and once again, we're taking a lot of time over there on the sideline, and Grigsby comes back into the huddle, getting a play from his head coach, Betancourt.
Time running out here in the first, 13 seconds, clock rolling. Wolfpack up to the line, looking at a 3rd and 5. Motion. They give it to the motion man. He comes to the near side and tries to split the D and does. What a run right there for first down yardage on that excellent carry to get them off the hook. That was badly needed right there.
Well, it certainly was. That was a great run, as you mentioned. All right, nice.
We've played one here at Elk Grove. After the first quarter of action, Thundering Herd on top 3-0, but the Wolfpack coming on. We'll be right back.
Bye-bye. Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
It's homecoming night here in Elk Grove, and lots of festive atmosphere here with a good crowd on hand. There you see them, most of them hoping that the host Thundering Herd will prevail this evening. Jennings had the first down run, so a fresh set now upcoming for the Pack. 1st and 10 from the CO 39. fake it to him and keep it, and they get about 3 out to the 43 or so. Well, you know, that was Grigsby taking it upon himself there, and he found a hole up the middle.
Well, in talking with Coach Betancourt during the week, he has so much confidence in quarterback Anthony Grigsby that he gives him opportunities to change the plays at the line of scrimmage because he trusts him on his reads.
Well, you saw that fake. It froze Joe Bear, but his teammates covered up pretty good and limited that to a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 now. We're just underway here in the second quarter. 3-0 Elk Grove. Quick hit right side. Intercepted. A clear path. Far sideline. And dropped.
Go! Yeah! That's how we get under it.
Well, that was tremendous. He was looking for that all the way. Jordan has been one of their top players all season long and had great hands, because you'll see here on the replay, he reaches all the way over the top to make that catch. 28-yard return after that pilfer.
Well, he looked, I'll tell you, great reaction, but when he took his drop, he looked right at quarterback Grigsby, and Grigsby looked right where he was going to throw the football.
1st and 10 from the 17. Carter Harris works left and spins. He's still not dropped. He gets almost to the 10-yard line. So probably about a 6 or 7 yard pickup on that. So we talked about penalties and we talked about turnovers and mistakes, and so far the visitors hold most of those.
Well, they certainly do. Cade Jordan took an excellent drop, dropped into coverage, the outside backer, read quarterback Grigsby.
There's the pitch. They work to the right side. Hunter Hall with the carry, dropped. But he makes it to the 6 or 7. Let's see what kind of a spot they give him. Let's take another look. Hunter Hall has been terrific this year for the Herd. Nice weave and a nice solo tackle right there.
Well, yes, a shoestring tackle by Rayberg saved the day. He probably would have gone in the end zone.
From the 7-yard line, 1st and goal. Harris wrapped up for a loss.
Well, once again, that dive back, Will, was wide open for 4 or 5 on his fake to the dive back.
Tristan Weaver and Cannon were in there to shut that down. 2 of the sack leaders for the Pack. So they lose a couple, make it 2nd and 9.
Once again,
Harris called his number on that and got nowhere.
well, the pitch back again. He's not making a true read. He's making his mind up before getting the reaction off that defensive outside man. The defensive end had not committed outside. And he'd like to have that one back and toss the ball to his pitch back.
No gain. 3rd and goal from the 9. And they send 2 wide receivers to the left and show motion by Briggs. Grabbed and dropped. My, oh my, that was sudden. And
well,
again, Tristan Weaver coming up big. Oh no, correction. That was clutch right there. Nate Giron, a veteran of last year and among the top tacklers on the Pack, sealed that. And another field goal attempt coming up here from the 19, spotted by Carter, booted on the way, wide left, no good. So he hits one and misses another, and the Wolfpack dodges a bullet there.
Well, they certainly did. And once again, quarterback Harris, we know he's had a big year getting, close to 1,000 yards coming in here tonight. However, I've seen 3 tonight thus far, and we're only in the first half where he has not taken his read. He's really decided he's going to keep the football. And I'll tell you, both times the pitchback was wide open.
Well, I'm quite sure there's others from the herd that noticed that. We'll see if the adjustments are made. Meantime, 1st and 10 for the Pack from the CO 20 here. Early in the second, 8.5 to go. Triple wide receivers to the right. They run straight ahead.
Well,
nice carry by Ridgway.
Well, number 9, Ishmael, the motion back was in motion.
Chris
illegal
Quinnett.
formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
I'd say that's at least half a dozen penalties against the visitors, maybe more
Well,
than that.
It's hard for me to believe when you're in Game 9 that this is going on here in the first half. And they're not the holes, they're not the clips, they're not the 15-yarders, but a lot of 5s.
5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. They lose 5. It's their 5th penalty for 30 yards. 1st and 15 upcoming. Grigsby wants to throw and fires right. He's got a man in the flat, wide open. Tries to work ahead, but 4 defenders were there to shut that down for just a short gain. Kenyon Former Brown, the wide receiver here with the catch. But you see here, too many defenders. They get about 2 to 3 on the play. We'll call it 2nd 12 after a 3-yard pickup.
Well, pre-game, I thought that Cosumnes had at the edge in speed, but for what I'm seeing out of the herd defense here tonight is they're getting to the football pretty quick.
They are not hesitating and not reluctant. They're going right to it. Fire to the near side, wide open receiver, boom!
Yeah.
Drilled hard and dropped. Well, that was a hard shot delivered that time in the secondary to shut that down by T.N. Fridge.
I think we've got movement on the wide receivers.
Ooh. So Foreman Brown with another catch, and illegal motion is
5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Another 5. So they're going to replay second. We've had a number of replayed downs following penalties. And the walk-off is going to put the Pack back at their 13-yard line.
Well, I've got them unofficial with 35 yards of penalties, Will.
This is not a offensive performance that's been well executed thus far. Triple wide receivers to the near side. 2nd and 17, fire right instead. Complete, but grabbed immediately and wrestled down to kill that play after a short pickup.
Well, somebody got a piece of the ball there, and I'm not sure if it was outside backer Cade Jordan. Somebody got a piece of the ball.
Third and about 6 or 7 upcoming here. A key down for the Pack if they want to sustain. They come to the near side, and that won't work. Boy, oh boy, was that sealed off beautifully. And that was just superlative work by Kalani Riddick, the strong safety.
Outstanding.
And Coach John Heffernan immediately identified Riddick as his best defensive player.
Well, Without a question, I can understand that. Let's look at it. Here comes Riddig, and he's got some help there with Bardasar was right there with him.
4th and 9. Punt formation shown. High snap over his head. Kicked out of the end zone. Penalty marker thrown. Well, I don't know what else could go wrong here in the first half for Cosumnes Oaks. They should feel fortunate they're down just 3-0. Chris Gwinnip will straighten this out for us.
Illegal kick on the kicking team. That penalty is declined. The play results in a safety.
Well, we just added one more element to the MPT file. And I think it's appropriate to have a baseball score up here at World Series time. 5-0 now. So it'll be a free kick by the Pack. They have to give up the football. A pair of deep receivers, both dangerous. Hunter Hall, number 11, as you see there, and always dangerous Riddick. So we'll see where they elect to go with this kick, Coach. It's an option on how they kick, but placement might be the real concern here.
Well, they've got to be very careful because they could give up field position here real quick like.
They're booting from their 20, and Elk Grove should get nice blast all the way back. Riddick to the 30, to the 35, has some running room, jammed, and makes the 45 and a bit more. Nice run back. Probably about 25 yards worth, and they do have great field position.
Oh, yeah, very definitely. Great job by Riddig. And I'll tell you, he was 1 or 2 away from going to the house. 27-yard return, excellent, almost at midfield.
Kalani Riddick, special teams deluxe. He found his hole and went for it and zoomed right through there.
He needs one more block there.
From the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Toss, they come to the near side. Hall dances the sideline and shoved out near the 35.
Well,
first down yardage.
I think they had a little conference with quarterback Harris there during the break, Will, and said, hey, when are you going to pitch the ball? The pitch is open.
Well, they just ran it for 16 yards, and you'll see another look on how well that was executed.
Excellent. And a nice block by the wide receiver, holding things up for a while. Excellent.
That was a nice block. First down from the 37. Short yardage and a shove back. Allen with the carry. Give him a couple on the play, 2nd and 8. Clock rolling here. 4.5 to go, flip side of quarter number 2. Nice of you to join us tonight for Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week, where it is homecoming night here at Elk Grove, and the Thundering Herd on top 5-0 and driving. Carter Harris churns for a couple before he's shoved back. They give him progress to the 32 or so. Give him a couple. It's going to bring up, I guess, about a 3rd and 6.
Well, he didn't get much of a measurement there. They covered the dive back once again and quarterback Harris. It looks to me like they want to not take Harris out of the game. They've got to stop Harris, number 1. And they're doing a pretty good job controlling him, but the pitchbacks have been wide open.
There you saw Coach Heffernan along that Elk Grove sideline, hoping he can cash in here on 3rd down. Briggs outside, cuts it. A flag flies as he gets inside the 25.
Well, I think we got a cut block going on over there.
A cut block that
I think it's going to penalize Elk Grove.
Leveled one of the herdsmen, Marlin. And there's a look at Briggs running the football, but the penalty is going to be against the herd, moving them all the way back. Major penalty.
15-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So instead of the 3rd and 5, it's like a 3rd and 14 from the CO 41. Tight formation and motion. He wants to throw deep over the middle. Nobody there. Should have been picked. Oh, there's the receiver. We got screened out. I didn't even see the intended receiver, Williams, there.
Well, Williams was there, but 2 defenders were in better position.
Much better.
Yeah.
Let's take another look at that.
There you see good coverage down there, and that ball had pick written all over it, and they'd like to have that back, and certainly.
Low snap, he's down to get it and punts quickly, and it's going to take a decent roll and trickle out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Petracek with the punt, effective, no return. 27 yards on the punt play. So the herd unable to do anything with the opportunity after the safety, but still lead at 5-0.
Well, let's find out here. This vaunted passing attack with speedy wide receivers hasn't done anything to date right now. And with 3 minutes to go, let's see if Grigsby can put together a drive here.
Grigsby looking left and right. Up the gut for short yardage. Ridgway, another carry, and lots of turbulence in that trench where the Imperator says up front is where the big decision is going to be. Who's going to win that battle?
Definitely winning up front is going to be a huge factor tonight. And thus far, the interior Elk Grove, Fonts, Mays, and Brown have been doing a job along with their linebackers.
Gain of 7 out to the 21-yard line, 2nd and 3. Speed up the middle. Big first down, nearly to the 35. Now that was speed to burn. Ridgway just really smoked it right through the middle.
Yes, great get off.
13 on the carry. Move the chains.
That's as quick as I've seen him get off tonight.
That was pretty quick.
Yes. The Elk Grove did, by the time they came off the ground with their hands, he was by them.
Time getting tight, though. They want to score before the intermission. 2:12 to go. To the near side, all kinds of room. Outside that tackle and down the near sideline. Big gain. The best of the evening so far. Grigsby motored that one and broke a tackle back here at the 40-yard line to make it a big gainer. I didn't see much on this tackling effort right here at the sideline.
All right, here comes Grigsby here. Let's see.
Right here.
There's a missed tackle.
Bad angle.
Bad angle, and then knocked out of bounds finally by number 8 coming from the other side.
32 yards on that carry before he's finally knocked out of there by Wollstonecroft, the free safety. First down at the herd 34. Whistles are going to kill this play at the 2:03 mark, and a timeout signaled for and taken. We're going to come right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
.203 left here in the first half. It's homecoming night here at Elk Grove as the herd plays host to the invading Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack, but the bottom line is the outcome of tonight's game. These teams battling for the Delta League title. First down for the pack. Grigsby flushed, gets away, penalty marker dropped, and he's chased out of bounds inside the 20, and 3 more flags fly.
Well, let's see what's happening while they sort that out. Coach was upset because he had to burn a timeout.
We're going to see a Cosumnes Oaks hold and Elk Grove personal foul right here. So Cosumnes, the first flag was holding on them, but chased out of bounds. Here's the personal foul right there. Not good. Certainly Archuleta knows better.
Well, certainly. And prior to that, we saw Coach Betancourt expressing himself, being very, very upset because he had to use a timeout and didn't want to. With the ball being dead, the clock not moving, he had to still call a timeout because his team was confused out there.
Okay, let's have it, Chris.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. At the end of the play, dead ball, personal foul on the defense, 15-yard penalty. Both fouls will be enforced. Replay the down.
So basically the penalties is neutralize each other. And they'll replay first. And they're under 2 minutes now. If the Wolfpack is going to try to get on the scoreboard, they're going to have to put it together right now.
Well, again, with a quarterback like Grigsby being very experienced and coach having confidence in him, as expressed during the week, he's going to need 1 or 2 plays to call on that line of scrimmage to save some time since they're using up their timeouts.
Grigsby looks to throw, fires to the right sideline, way over the head of his intended receiver out there. And that had no chance for Ramos.
Not a chance at all. And, you know, we have not seen anything short underneath, Will. I know they love vertical passes down the field. But, by God, the linebackers are flying outside. There's no one covering the middle. If they run any crossing route or drag route now, I guarantee it's 10 or 15 yards minimum.
Clock stops on the incompletion at 1:49. It's going to bring up 2nd and 13, still at the 37. 5-0 Elk Grove, a field goal and a safety, and that's been it. Big rush, picked up though, and he fires deep. He's got a man out there. Intercepted. What a play right there. That was just tremendous. Yes, it was the free safety coming alive again, and he had a hand in last year's game. Nick Wollstonecroft ranging wide to make a very good interception. Let's take a look. That was way above average.
Plenty of time to throw. He goes deep downfield. Watch Nick get up there.
Well, he has been the man, and that was a key defensive play. 6 penalties and 3 turnovers on the Cosumnes Oaks ledger. So 1st and 10 from the 20. Nothing doing.
Well, right now, Coach Heff's herd is playing great defense.
Damian Allen's wondering what fell on him.
And do not be surprised if they run a couple of downs and figure, you know what, we'll take this 5-0 lead. Everybody expects this to be a high-scoring contest. We'll play tough D. You see Coach John Heffernan now, he's okay with this 5-0.
Wearing that cap pulled down low as usual. 2nd and 9, minute 5 left. They pitch, it's Hall, tripped up. He had some room to run there and probably could have made it out of bounds with about a 10-yard run, but I think he tripped on contact with his teammate there.
Well, a little bit of that and a little bit of turf. None. We haven't seen a completed pass yet, and we didn't expect to see many passes thrown by the herd.
Okay, we'll see here on this sweep how he got tripped up. I think he caught Briggs right there. He sure did. Live action. Smash in the middle makes the 25 and no more.
Well, once again, Coach Betancourt would like to have, I believe that's his last one if he's using it.
Timeout taken, and we're going to come right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We resume action late here in the second quarter at Elk Grove High School. Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Homecoming night here, but the game of major importance right now. Elk Grove on top, but not by much, just 5-0. Here's the punt. A driving punt that is going to bounce and nearly picked up, but bobbled away, and it's a fumble recovery. Bad judgment right there. Wow. Ill-advised. Joe Bear with the recovery. Let's take a look. 39-yard sequence there. And a bounding punt. The returner tried to field it. It's the 4th turnover of the night for Cosumnes Oaks here in the first half. New life for the herd. 1st and 10 from the pack 35. Harris rolls, looks, fires. Broken up. Excellent coverage out there. Briggs was the intended receiver. Close coverage there. The host crowd wanting some interference. Jennings, intended receiver. Just 4.8 left here in the first half. Another play should wrap it up. So I think Jennings was defending on that beautifully, as he does always. So let's see if they go for home run derby here. He wants to throw. Chased now. And darts out of bounds with zeros showing on the clock. And that marks the end of the first half. A peculiar first half played by two teams with high scoring credentials, and all they can muster is a field goal and a safety. But Elk Grove will take that for now. And Coach Domino, I don't think we've had a game like this before in 22 years.
No, I would say at halftime, when you only have a field goal and a safety separating these two teams, and Elk Grove can move the ball 20-20 and quite frankly, Cosumnes Oaks has got to get things together beside turnovers and penalties.
Let's go down to the field. Lauren has a special guest. Goody?
Coach, your team played tremendous defense in the first half. Can you talk about their performance thus far?
Yeah, defense has been great. Guys are getting where they're supposed to be, doing their job, being the right, coming up with some big plays on defense here to keep us ahead right now.
What is it going to take for your team to kind of capitalize on these big plays that they're making and turn it into some offense?
We got to get offense. We got to get in a rhythm. We're not in a rhythm right now. They're doing a good job taking away things we're trying to get to, and so we got to come out second half and execute and just get back on track.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much. Good luck in the second half. Will.
Thanks, Goody. That was a nice appraisal there by Coach Heffernan, applauding Cosumnes Oaks defense for busting their rhythm. And that's the way it is at the half. We're going to come back shortly. Right now, Elk Grove up 5. Stay with us.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Selfie. Nailed it.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
It's very nice to have you with us this evening on a beautiful night here out in Elk Grove for the Hometown Sports Game of the Week and homecoming night for the Thundering Herd. And right now, the hosts are on top by a slim 5-0 margin in a very peculiar first half here. But all factors considered, I would imagine this could be the type of game that's a tale of two contrasting halves, Coach.
Well, I got a feeling that's going to happen. I would be quite surprised if we have a low-scoring game continue. I really do. There's too much talent on the field to where we haven't seen the big plays yet. And I think that once Cosumnes Oaks relaxes and plays their game and unleashes some of the big play people, they're making too many mistakes right now. Between the penalties and mistakes are just hurting them something. And I realize Coach Betancourt is new at these big games, but I'm sure his team will come forward.
Well, you see some of the festivities of homecoming, candidates for King and Queen and the Royal Court. But let's go ahead and take a look at the latest weekly rankings compiled by none other than the Imperator. Domino's Dozen.
Here we go. Of course, Folsom in that number one spot like they've been all year long with the most recent win over Granite Bay. Intercom in that 2 spot, going into Antelope and handling a pretty good Antelope team despite their record this year. Oak Ridge with a nice victory over Whitney in the 4th spot. Monterey Trail had a bye, forfeit, and certainly Cap Christian took a break last week. Rockland also took a break. Elk Grove fresh from a win over Franklin. Center having a tremendous year this year. Del Oro tougher than as usual, and next week with a big game in Folsom. Davis tonight playing and needing another win in order to meet Cosumnes in a possible title game next week. Granite Bay, as usual, and that tough SFL. Rio Linda, always tough, last year's state champion. Vista del Lago, under Mike Strubing having a phenomenal year, and it's going to be between them and Capital Christian in that league. Cosumnes Oaks, you're seeing here tonight, kind of biting himself in the foot a little bit. They got to stop making those penalties and mistakes, etc. Turnovers. Pleasant Grove in the hunt. Jesuit, of course. Christian Brothers. Antelope showing well despite losing to Intercom last week, and Yuba City holding ground and wanting a piece of Intercom still to come. And on that bubble, do not count those bubble teams out. Whitney having a good year. Oakmont have one of its better years. Lincoln, Roseville under new coach Joe Catalico, and certainly not the least, Rosemont having a phenomenal year with only one loss and looking like definitely a titleist in that league.
They are having a splendid year, and those rankings are going to change again a little bit, but for the most part, most of those teams are going to hold their position, and we will too, and ask you to hold until we come back from this very short break and more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Hi, I'm Lourdes Stefan, host of Univision's Sal y Pimienta. Cancer doesn't just change the way you feel, it changes the way you look. From losing your hair, even your eyebrows, to changes in your skin and nails, cancer treatment can rob you of your confidence and self-esteem. But Look Good, Feel Better changes all that. More than 800,000 women have learned how to address the appearance side effects of cancer treatment through our workshops. Visit lookgoodfeelbetter.org to find a free workshop near you. Let Look Good, Feel Better help you feel like you again.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Well, with all this heavy attention on the game on the field, we don't want to certainly lose track of the festivities tonight that go with homecoming events. And as we see here, the primary participants that factor into this event are getting showcased. And of course, this was all preceded by a parade earlier today, Jim.
Well, certainly this has become part of the tradition here at Elk Grove, and they believe very strongly. One of the oldest schools in the area, and the first school, of course, in Elk Grove, and a lot of tradition, and you see the festivities going on, and bringing the families out with the queens and the princesses and the families, etc. I think that's a great thing here. Certainly. And we'll also be getting to some stats for you before we get back to the second half. But let's look at these festivities, and as course, they do a great job here at Elk Grove, and with all the traditions, rightfully so, Will.
Oh, they certainly do, and it's always a special night when homecoming rolls around, and certainly the excitement and the buzz is appropriate, even though you are concentrating heavily on this ball game as we consider what could be upcoming in the second half. I mean, I fully expect the scoring to jump in the second half.
Well, I do. I would think that young coach Betancourt, probably this is one of the biggest games that he's coached in, and certainly he has a lot of confidence in Grigsby, and Grigsby will come around. But I think we're going to see more. Elk Grove hasn't completed the pass, but we didn't expect to see much passing out of them. We expect them to, control the line of scrimmage and the clock, and they have done that. When we get to talk about time of possession, you'll see that they are doing that. But consequently, mistakes and penalties and turnovers are number one thing that seems to happen week in, week out. What you don't want to happen to your football team has happened to Cosumnes Oaks here in this first half, Will.
However, I keep going back to the thought that they're down 5 after making 4 turnovers and a slug of mistakes. This game could change on one play. The lead could change on one play. And talk about a team that runs for 400 yards a game. Rob has just given us a stat that brings us back to reality. 26 carries for 98 yards. Isn't quite up to the measure Elk Grove is accustomed to.
Not at all. Not at all. Not when you're averaging 9-10 yards a pop and they hold you to this.
Let's see the stat package and give you the reality of it on how these teams have been held in check.
Well, there you look at that rushing yard, 98 to 84. I mean, normally Elk Grove at the half has probably 200 yards or close, so they don't have that. Meanwhile, Cosumnes Oaks 84, so they're close. Passing yards 19-0. Not much offensive production. That's why we got a 5-0 game. And like you say, one play could change that around real quick. Like total offense, 103 Cosumnes to 98 Elk Grove. I mean, this is not only a low-scoring game. This is a low amount of offensive yards. First down, 4-6 in favor of Elk Grove. Penalties, 45 against Cosumnes Oaks, 29 against Elk Grove. And certainly, particularly in the first 6 minutes of this football game, Cosumnes Oaks had themselves 2 delay of games, 4 illegal procedures, then went on to get another delay of game. So to me, the delays of games, you really shouldn't even average 1 a game. And they had 2 or 3.
Well, certainly they were not ready to settle down and play, but the fact is, as we mentioned, 1 score could turn this around, but on the flip side of that coin, the number of chances that Elk Grove was afforded have not been capitalized upon, and I'm quite sure John Heffernan is thinking about that right now. But let's rejoin our pal, Lauren Goodman. What you got, Goody?
Hey, guys, I knew you wanted to get some scores around the city, especially going on in the Delta. There's some key matchups that we wanted to pay attention to, starting off with Franklin at Davis. Franklin 14, Davis 26. Jesuit is at Sheldon tonight. Jesuit is up 33-7 over Sheldon. PG has a non-conference game tonight at Valley where they're up 48-0. Some other matchups that we may be interested in that is not in the Delta is Monterey Trail and Laguna Creek are playing for the Metro League Championship. Monterey Trail 13, Laguna 7. Yuba City is at Endercombe tonight. Yuba City 14, Endercombe 21. Wood Creek is at River Valley. They're up big 33-0. Sac is at Vista del Lago. Vista is up 28-0. Grant is at Folsom tonight. Grant 10, Folsom 49. Another matchup that we really wanted to pay attention to, Rockland is at Del Oro. Rockland 7, Del Oro 14. Some other scores, Oak Ridge is up big at Granite Bay 21-0. Rio Linda has a big lead over Oakmont 28-0. And Center is up big over Lyndhurst 38-0. Back to you.
Wow, thanks, Goody. That was a heck of a nice scoreboard run down there. You're my hero. You gave us some very revealing scores at the midway point. And boy, oh boy, are a lot of questions going to be answered within the next couple hours.
Well, once again, to reiterate your point with Coach Heffernan has to be extremely grateful to be ahead 5-0 and really in lieu of what happened. And quite frankly, Cosumnes Oaks really, they've given Elk Grove opportunities galore and could very well be behind this game, not 5-0, but perhaps 15 to 18-0.
4 turnovers, a safety, and in a certain sense, Cosumnes Oaks is in a better position, though they're down 5.
Well, yeah, and a missed field goal. Yes.
That all factors into it. No, those are opportunities missed by Elk Grove. Under different conditions, they probably would have come away with those 6 opportunities with a couple of touchdowns.
Well, without a question.
So credit Cosumnes Oaks with their tough D and Elk Grove's inefficiency at the same time.
Well, again, Cosumnes Oaks is coming off a bye, okay? Prior to that bye, they got upset by Franklin. Prior to the Franklin game, they played Jesuit in a very tough game over there in an afternoon game, and I'm sure Coach would have wanted the better game out of his team, even though they beat Jesuit.
Yes, they did, and he would have wanted it better. You're seeing some beautiful floats here coming by the main grandstand here at Elk Grove Stadium and on homecoming night. Boy, somebody put in some work on that. Is a gorgeous float right there.
Well, it is. Beautiful.
That's the winner right there for me. But those other Delta scores, Jesuit pounding prolific Sheldon 40-7, and Davis doing about what we thought they would with Franklin.
We would. Davis is certainly going to, be right in the hunt. They play Cosumnes at Cosumnes next week. They would love to finish the year with a 9-1 record, Will, and perhaps be co-champions, but by virtue of head-to-head competition, if Elk Grove pulled this game out, they would lose the head-to-head, but essentially one loss apiece would tie them for the league title and give way to this game. Now, if Cosumnes does pull this game out in the second half, of course, then next week will be a title game at Cosumnes.
Against the Davis Blue Devils.
Yes.
And, well, I won't speculate, but if it comes to that, that's going to be a scrappy game too. But right now with this 5-0 score, I'm inclined to think that the number of mistakes and the stale offense by both teams creates tension and nervousness. And
yes.
We'll see who snaps out of it.
Harris has had a phenomenal career here at Elk Grove. There were occasions, as we cited, maybe 2, 3, 4 times where he didn't truly read the option. People don't always read the option. They have a preset.
Hold that thought. Let's check in with Goody.
Coach, you guys, many penalties in the first half, but it's still a ball game. How do you feel right now?
We're lucky to be in this game right now. Obviously, we're playing hard on the defense end. Offensively, we are not playing alignment or assignment football, and once we can clean that up, it'll be in our favor.
What needs to happen in the third to make an immediate impact and get back in this ball game?
We got to come out fast. Defense has to get an early shutdown and turn the ball over. And offensively, we just need to get the wheels rolling and going in the right direction.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Will.
Thanks, Goody. Rookie coach Andrew Betancourt, rookie to his assignment there at Cosumnes Oaks, sounding optimistic, and we'll see how long that confidence holds. We'll be right back for the start of second half action here on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Selfie. Nailed it.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Nothing the score here as we're completing the halftime intermission on homecoming night here at Elk Grove High School, where the Thundering Herd clinging to the 5-point lead and wondering how they couldn't have added another couple of touchdowns. And it is hard to believe they've done nothing with the opportunities. We've seen Grigsby picked off twice. We've seen a snap over the punter's head into the end zone. We've seen a bounding punt attempted to be fielded and fumbled away deep in the Cosumnes Oaks territory, yet no points generated on all those opportunities.
Well, certainly they look like they can move the ball 20-20, but when they get near that red zone, something occurs for Elk Grove. And so Coach Heff, I'm sure, is wondering, hey, we should be out front by at least 2 touchdowns in lieu of what we've done. And meanwhile, as Coach Bettendorf alluded to at the half, saying, hey, we were fortunate to only be down 5. And we're gonna unleash this second half, and I got confidence in our kids, and we can play certainly Wolfpack ball, which we haven't been playing in the first half. But what bothers me early in this game is the amount of mistakes that Cosumnes Oaks made in the first 6 minutes of this football game, and it did not set a good tone for that football team that is loaded with speed. So I think that they've got to turn Grigsby loose and see what he can do, and he's got to get the ball out of his hands earlier, Will.
Well, we're going to see what he did on a couple of these pass plays right here, and it wasn't the desired outcome as we see here. Cade Jordan going up high to pick that. He was right in the passing lane, thrown directly to him. And then the deep throw, Wollstonecroft playing free safety, ranging over to help cover and makes the big interception there.
But that ball was a duck. You see the nose of the football?
It wobbled.
Yes. It just up there. They brought rain with that, how high it was thrown, and up for grabs. And give that defender, as you mentioned, who's having a big night, Nick Wollstonecroft, certainly wanted it more than they did at that time.
That is a fact, and as Lauren Goodman pointed out in the pregame when we talked about that matchup a year ago over at Cosumnes Oaks, it was Wollstonecroft that put the finishing touches and clinched that Wolfpack, or that Elk Grove victory with the pick 6 down the sideline.
Well, he's having a big game, but once again, perhaps we'll see some fireworks this second half here with some big plays. But right now, the defense of both football teams has been dominating.
Deep receivers, Hunter Hall and Riddick Ever Dangerous, as those two stand outside the 10. And Duarte set to do the booting here, and we are underway here in the third quarter. A bounder taking on 2 hops. Riddick straight up the middle of the field and dropped on a solid tackle right there, but pretty good field position out across the 30. 19 yards on the run back with the football parked at the 32.
Bear Williams rocked him. I'll tell you, number 6, Bear Williams, had a good hit on that kickoff return. and Riggs knew it. He thought he had daylight there, and Bear put the wood to him.
On first down, they pitch. Nice spin move, but covered up fast by 3 other Wolfpack tacklers to drop that play. Briggs with the carry. And they get a few out of that. When we heard Coach Betancourt talk at halftime, he's depending on a stop on this series. Nice spin, but there you see 3 other Wolfpack defenders to cover that up. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Breaking loose out of a pack. Harris on the run. He's got daylight. A blocker down there to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Thundering Herd. Carter Harris, 65 yards to break it. And I was speaking with Coach Heffernan last night, and I said, it seems like every game, Carter Harris has a 65-yard touchdown run.
Well, this is a highlight run because he makes some moves inside and has the acceleration once he needed, and he got a great block on about the 20.
So Gardner on for the PAT, trying to tack on one more. Good snap, spotted clean, booted a mile, and got it. At the 11:08, let's take a look at the Carter Harris sprint out of the pack.
Great move there. Now he's got the speed. He's going to pick up one more block here.
Boy, Jennings overran that play outside the line of scrimmage. What an effort there by Harris. 12-0, and we will be right back.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
The kickoff taken outside the goal line and a run back to about the 20-yard line, so very average field position on that return, and that's where Cosumnes Oaks will open shop. Ramos with the run back, and now it's a 12-point Elk Grove lead. Carter Harris breaking the ice.
Well, this is early in the game, but a big series for the Wolfpack.
Coach Betancourt was hoping for a stop on that first series to get the ball back, and it didn't work out. Up the middle, big room, and dropped after a good gain. Ridgway shot through that hole like a bullet.
Well, he's come in here with essentially almost 800 yards, and you can see why.
Let's take another look at this outstanding ball player. And a low tackle put the end on that run, and we'll credit Wollstonecroft again, the free safety, making that solo stop. First down, however, from the 31. He pulls it back and runs it, but nowhere to go. He gets forward for a couple, and that play minimized, and we're going to go ahead and you're going to see Cade Jordan, number 7, stay home on this.
Well, once again,
right there.
A wise move by Grigsby, but once again, I'm still looking. I know that's not how they got here, but I'm still looking for shorter routes where Grigsby can get the ball out of his hands early.
We shall see. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Straight handoff. The pile still moving. Finally halted at the 35. I'll tell you, Ridgeway,
well,
outstanding.
Grigsby, I know this isn't a wing tee or a veer, but Grigsby is looking right at the ball carrier he hands the ball to. Okay, and if you didn't know who had it, he's telling you.
The junior QB on the hot seat right now needs to crank up his team's offense. Right now, they are moving slowly. Up and coming, 3rd and 6 from the 35, but this play will not get off yet.
There's some commotion going on that bench over there.
Yes, there is. Well, I won't even speculate, but it created a slight delay. We're ready to go now. Equipment problem, I suppose. A lob down the right sideline to a wide open receiver, and it's a grab. Hauled in at the 45 and a carry to the 35. And we're going to cite a 31-yard play by Foreman Brown.
Wide open.
Nice lob to Foreman Brown.
And he got the ball out early. There he is, breaking down the sideline. And if you see that wide receiver in that play again, we have some blocking by that wide receiver down the field.
One of the longer plays of the evening for the Wolfpack. 8.5 to go, still early third, 12-0 Elk Grove. They run it and make the 30. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 upcoming.
Well, they're running real hard now. As you see Brown, number 4, with a nice run inside.
Actually, they get 4 on the play. You'll see there.
Yeah.
Foreman Brown stopped.
Well, he was getting the plays off very quickly. Now suddenly a delay here. And they're effective when he gets the plays off quickly, Will.
Well, they dispatched 2 wideouts to the near side. They run it. It looks like they found a soft spot in the middle there. And they're still shy of a first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Well, they are. They're running it right inside. And I look for Grigsby to keep the ball or throw off it. 3rd and 4. They're getting decent blocking up front. Certainly from Giron, Carranza, Cannon.
Big play on 3rd and 4, although they're probably in 4-down territory. To the near side, Ridgeway dragged down.
Well, he looks. Let's see where the measurement is.
Well, I'll be shocked if they are short. I'll be shocked if they don't go for it. Let's take a look at this.
They've got to go for it.
Nice defensive effort here.
Yes, there's a pitch to Ridgeway. Excellent pursuit here. Open field tackling, excellent job. Certainly in that open field.
There was an outstanding block on that play delivered by number 8, and it enabled Ridgeway to get what he got on that. However, they're shy on.
Yeah, Archuleta made a great tackle in that open field too.
They need 1, but they're going to measure.
Well, while the measure, coach is trying to drag him to the sidelines, and the officials are saying you're not going to the sidelines.
Well, this game has been hardly what anybody anticipated, but looking on, the Elk Grove faithful here on homecoming night, supporting the Thundering Herd. If the Herd can achieve victory this evening, they will have locked up the Delta League Championship. First down, Wolfpack. That got a reaction from the Herd following. The Boo Birds are out.
Well, they're on a 24-yard line, Will, and getting into that red zone here. This is where they've got to capitalize on their skilled people, Ridgway, etc., along with their outstanding receivers, and Grigsby's got to make some good decisions here.
9th play of the drive. Hitting the backfield and driven back.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, 34 Cruz Baltazar.
Coach is very high on Baltazar and, of course, Archuleta, two of the better linebackers in the league.
It was as if Baltazar was in the huddle.
It certainly was.
I mean,
let's
take a look at this initiative here.
Here comes Baltazar.
Right
He
in the
blitzed, right?
backfield.
Nobody picked him up.
2nd and 13 after the loss. Football at the 27. Triple wide to the right as Grigsby looks it over.
He's
operating
changing
from the left hash. And what have we got here?
Dead ball. Delay a game on the offense.
All right, Coach.
Wow.
I'm flabbergasted.
I just, it's totally uncalled, because if you're going to change a play, you can't give your quarterback 3 to 4 seconds to change the play.
Loss of 5. 2nd and 18 from the 32. They're ready to go, I believe. Same formation. He looks right and fires away. Got a man out there. Incomplete.
And the ball was out of bounds. If he makes the catch, it's out of bounds.
Yes, it was.
Out of field.
They've used more than 5 minutes on this drive and still going backward.
Well, once again, we had delay of game, and they were in sync. When they were in tempo running plays, as I mentioned, Will, it seems like they got themselves out of tempo there.
Matthew Kendall coverage on the play. Again, triple wide right. Again, Grigsby fires out there. And a leaping grab. Excellent effort there on a high strike.
Well, that was a great catch by Ramos, and a clutch catch.
It was. Arms fully extended over his head. Good hands on that. And he took a beating to make that play.
Here you go.
Well, that was a clutch first down on 3rd and 18.
That's probably the biggest play of the night for the Wolfpack.
18 yards on the catch, and whistles are going to halt play here momentarily. I have to say, Jim, I really, really like the first down yard marker here with that illuminated down.
Well, we can see it from far away.
That's the best I've seen.
Yes, I like that.
Let's order 2 or 3 of those right away.
Right, I like that. On order.
Okay. First down and 10, 5.5 to go. And there you see some Betancourt conversation with Chris Quinnip. The teams are lined up, but they're not ready to go until, I'm not sure what the point of contention is here, but it seems to be away from the playing field.
Well, we've got some visitors here that are not welcome over there, and Coach wants them away.
Fair enough. Oh, I think I could lip read there. Clear them out of there, he said. Okay, there's a whistle. Double wideouts to the near side. They run left, and it's jammed.
Well, I thought he was going to go outside, really. It looked like the outside, the perimeter was open.
Probably a better prospect than what we just saw. No gain, 2nd and 10. Clock rolling, 5-minute mark. Flip side, quarter number 3. Cosumnes Oaks on the move, but they're down 12-0. They need to make something happen here. This is a 6-minute drive right now, as Grigsby sends 3 wide receivers to the right. He's looking that way, fires over the middle, incomplete behind the receiver. The middle area was open, as you say, Imperator, but the pass off target.
It looked like it went off somebody's hands, but I tell you, the ball was behind him, wide open. Here he is.
Jalen Jones trying to reach back for it, so third and 10. Triple wide right. Grigsby gets flushed out of there, throws off balance, broken up at the goal line. Well, there might be a penalty upcoming here. The breakup was from behind. Looked like pretty good timing, but I couldn't tell if there was a bump in there or not. But this is going to set up the Wolfpack for their best opportunity yet tonight.
On blue 3. Pass interference on the defense, half the distance to the goal, replay, third down.
Matthew Kendall with the defensive coverage here.
But not enough for first down.
Off balance. Gee whiz.
Looks like he's going for the ball to me.
It sure was. Okay, here we go. Sweep right. Break a tackle, but plenty of help there to shut that down on 3rd and 3.
I'm a little surprised on running wide like that. Nowhere for Ridgeway to go. Nowhere. Give the Elk Grove D credit. I'll tell you, they got to the football quickly.
Boy, very quick. No gain. 4th and 3. That crowd in the end zone piling up.
Well,
taking any seat visible.
Well, I could tell you something. Fonts, Smithhorse, Balthasar, and Archuleta get to the football so quickly, along with Jordan.
Well, this is the money play here. 2 wideouts to the near side. 4th and 3. A look to the bench and a timeout taken by Coach Betancourt. It comes at 3:47. Let's just hold it right here for a second. On 4th and 3, he had a play called, but then stops play. What?
Well, he doesn't like what he sees on the defense from what he called, but he cannot call a timeout, and he's going to run out of timeouts if he does this with his quarterback. He's got to have a checkoff that Grigsby can go to, that coach doesn't have to make a new call. Okay, he's got to have a checkoff ready. To me, you use your timeouts. There may be a time in this football game where Coach Betancourt may need timeouts.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think this is the type of a game where that might turn up later in the 4th quarter. Grigsby came into the ball game tonight having thrown for better than 1,800 yards with 25 touchdowns, and has not looked like that player so far.
No, he has not. He's threw for 19 yards of passing in the first half. 19.
14th play on this drive. 4th and 3. He keeps it, throws for the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Wolfpack on 4th and 3. They finally hit some pay dirt, and that was clutch. Moses with the grab. The tight end with his 2nd TD reception of the year.
Moses Aladejo.
So Duarte on for the PAT. They're down 12-6, trying to tack on number 7 apparently. Straight away, low snap, but he's under it and chips it sweet through the uprights. Let's take another look at the TD.
There you see Grigsby faking inside the Ridgeway and wide open there in the end zone. Number 10, Archuleta.
We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Here's the kick. It's a bounder that gets past the returners. Finally back to pick it up and nowhere to go. A busted kickoff return that snuffed out at the 10-yard line. I believe the momentum has shifted.
Well, I saw a very inspired, hustling kickoff team of Cosumnes getting down the field in a hurry and getting to the football. And like you say, perhaps momentum has shifted.
Well, you can see a concerned head coach there, John Heffernan, now seeing his lead chopped to just 12-7 on a drive that consumed 7 minutes and 22 seconds, covering 14 plays and 80 yards.
That sounded more like an Elk Grove type of drive.
This is crucial here for Herd hopes. And so far, not a good start as that defense is fired up.
Well, they're flying to the ball, and the Herd, I know they're deep down in the territory, but they've got to use a little misdirection here. You know, they haven't showed a misdirection play here. Third play of the second half only. My goodness, for Cosumnes has dominated that clock in this quarter.
No gain. 2nd and 10 from the 11. Crucial series here. A bad pitch. And that is going to be safety traded for safety. The bad pitch. How about that? When was the last time you saw a pair of safeties, one for each squad?
Wow.
Decision making in question. Let's take a look here, Jim.
Take a look. There he pitches to outside. And not having seen all of it, results in a safety.
Hunter Hall, presence of mind to get back and cover that instead of giving up a touchdown. But still, 12-9, just the field goal we saw early on, separating the teams now.
Not only that, you're getting the ball back, and you should get the ball back with this free kick. You should get the ball back in great field position right here. This is where this tempo and the mighty Mo has swung, and Cosumnes Oaks with a golden opportunity here.
So the 12-0 Herd advantage is a memory. They're clinging now to a 3-point edge and have to give up the football. And 2 eager returners, Ramos one of them, and he's got the pill. Number 5, Ramos, makes the 35 and a little bit more. So good field position now for Grigsby and the Wolfpack offense. 16-yard return. .243 left here in the third. This has been a peculiar game, to say the least. None of the flow I would consider standard for either team, and one of those games that's going to leave you wondering till the very end.
Well, when you get 2 safeties and 1 field goal and then a missed field goal, the majority of scoring is done non-touchdown type of thing.
1st and 10 from the 37. let's see what Grigsby does now with new life and down by just 3. Ridgway with the handoff, and he's stacked and shoved back and dropped. Boy, that was some excellent defense.
Well,
Archuleta was there, and also
Baltasar having a huge game, Will.
And we saw Woolston cropped up in there too, from the safety position. Looky here. So they're coming up strong. There's Jordan in there as well.
Jordan in there too. Yeah. I'll tell you, they've got some good defensive football players on that Herd ball club.
So they give him progress back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd and 10. 2 wides to the right. He's going to throw, overthrown, and the penalty marker comes out late. Well, I don't know what they're going to call here.
Byers was wide open.
Yes, he was.
Wow.
You see Isaiah Byers here leaking out of the backfield. That pass had a lot of loft on it.
Wide open, and, you know, like you said, we haven't seen Grigsby on his mark much tonight. And he comes in here with huge yardage and 25 pass touchdowns.
15-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
Well, you heard the call, referee Chris Gwinnett, and we'll see if we can spot it here. A major penalty walk-off. A hold, evidently. All the way back to the Wolfpack 22. Replay 2nd, make it 2nd and 25. There's a good look at the Herd defenders. 9 penalties now stacked up against Cosumnes Oaks.
Taking an awful long time to get this playoff.
Boy, they sure are. He wants to throw, fires right. He's got a completion and a little bit more after the sidestep move. That was some slick running over there. And
very fortunate Riddick didn't pick that off. He was right there.
Jennings concentrated, made the grab, and had some good footwork here. You'll see a nice little shifty move to get some extra out of this.
Yeah. Riddick goes for the ball. And
oh my goodness, he froze him. That was pretty quick.
To me now, once they get in this tempo, they should be in and out of that huddle or no huddling. They're taking a lot of time.
3rd and 15 from the 32. 2 left and 2 right. And there's the motion. Good protection, deep up the middle. There's a catch and a long completion for a big-time 1st down. And again, Jennings. Boy, that was certainly his best throw of the evening.
I would say so. It was right on the money. Watch. Okay, Grigsby's back to throw, has time, goes deep. Excellent. Jennings runs up under it, beats the safety.
39 yards on that hookup. 1st down at the Herd 29. Less than a minute to go here in the 3rd. He wants to throw again, gets pressure, left corner, caught, touchdown Wolfpack. And how about that?
Jennings having a huge night.
Yes, it was a Jennings grab, 29 yards for the go-ahead score.
Jennings with the big score. Once again catching 2 passes back to back. One for 39 yards and one for 29 yards.
Just 48 seconds left here in the 3rd as the Herd gets stung. And it did come to pass with all the missed opportunities, allowing CO to stay in the game. It's not over, but the lead has changed. Chip shot Duarte and got it.
Well, let's have a look at this here. Grigsby back to pass, fakes to Ridgway. Under heavy duress, puts the ball there, and watch Jennings' concentration. Wow.
More to come. Stay with us. Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Hi, I'm Lourdes Stefan, host of Univision's Sal y Pimienta. Cancer doesn't just change the way you feel, it changes the way you look. From losing your hair, even your eyebrows, to changes in your skin and nails, cancer treatment can rob you of your confidence and self-esteem. But Look Good, Feel Better changes all that. More than 800,000 women have learned how to address the appearance side effects of cancer treatment through our workshops. Visit lookgoodfeelbetter.org to find a free workshop near you. Let Look Good, Feel Better help you feel like you again.
Cosumnes Oaks on top for the first time tonight, and here's the follow-up kickoff by Duarte, a bounding kick inside the 10 to the far side, trying to come back with it and cannot make the 20, dropped at the 15-yard line, and 10 on the return, but below average field position upcoming for Elk Grove here in the final seconds of the third.
Well, in that last drive that Cosumnes scored, they went 63 yards in 1 minute and 55 seconds in only 5 plays, and Grigsby is coming alive. And give credit also to the line pass protection, as well as Jennings making 2 outstanding catches.
And all of that results in 16 unanswered points to take the lead. Let's see what the herd has left. They stay on the ground and get 5 to the 20. Clock rolling, 35 seconds left. Well, they send Riddick back in.
There's, you see Allen going for about 5 yards.
2nd and 5. Run play makes the 5 they need and a bit more. That looks like first down yardage as the clock is going to wind on down. Well, they do stop it momentarily to move the chains. So and we have played 3. Stay with us. Lots more to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Things tightening up.
What?
Well, we'll see if that first down reignites this Elk Grove offense.
Well, in that third quarter, Will, this is Elk Grove has run just 6 plays in the third quarter, and Cosumnes Oaks 19 plays. That kind of sounds like it's in reverse, doesn't it?
It does not sound like ball control offense with the triple option, but definitely ball control offense. Credit the Wolfpack and credit the comeback. Let's see what we got here as we open fourth quarter action. He fakes, keeps, and gets buried. He loses, well, 1 or 2. Let's see where they spot him. Loses a yard back to the 24, 2nd and 11.
Well, Cosumnes Oaks is just tempting them to throw the football, but they're not going to throw the football on first down. They got the whole world up to stop the run.
I'm waiting to see when Coach Heff pulls the plug and goes over the top. Let's see. Just underway here in the fourth. In case you've just joined us, settle in because we got a wild one here. A reverse to the near side, down the sideline, and a big gainer. Riddick bumped out at the 40. First down, Thundering Herd.
I like that misdirection. I really do, and I said the Herd has got to use a little misdirection. As good a line as they have, they're coming right at them. They got to mix it up and run some counters and misdirection plays. Excellent call.
Here's a 15-yard gain.
There it is.
A little push from the back there. I guess nobody saw that one.
No, we did, Will.
Yes, we did. That was Hudson.
There's the counter.
Oh, step away from traffic and work the sideline. Good individual effort, but too many defenders there.
No.
They get about a yard or so.
Give credit to the Wolfpack D for recovering off that counter play. They got to the football in a hurry.
Briggs has had 2 or 3 plays that have impressed me on short yardage where he's done it all on his own just to get a little bit. Let's take a look here. He puts out some effort here. Let's look at that move. Man, he froze him hard.
He did, but then here comes the Wolfpack.
Okay, gain of 2, 2nd and 8. They toss, it's Hall, and he slips down where he had some running room and gets a sportsmanship hand up.
Wow.
I like to see that. That was Mathis.
He just got back to the line of scrimmage.
I don't think the field is slick out there, do you?
Well, he tried to make a cut. He's gone down about 3 times tonight, Hall.
Yes, he
has. He better check the cleats.
Longer cleats, Coach.
You got it.
Okay. No gain. 3rd and 8. Key down here. They shift and pitch. It's Hall, right side. Gets outside. Plenty for a first down as he makes the Cosumnes Oaks 45.
Counter option. Counter option.
That was clutch.
That was a big play. Hall, watch this action in here. I said they have to use more misdirection, and I love that counter option. Great call.
Another 15-yard run. So the ground game starting to come alive now, but the scoreboard, not yet. 1st and 10 from the 44. Quick opener.
Well.
Unnecessary. Well, one thing's for sure, Jacob Hudson is frustrated right now.
Well, Damian Allen with some tough yards inside.
Those were tough yards. So Carter Harris to the Elk Grove sideline to check with his coach, John Heffernan, and we'll get the call from Chris Gwinnett.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul on the offense, 2nd down.
Well, that loss of temper results in a loss of 15 and puts the Herd in a big-time hole.
That is huge. Now, they've got 3 downs to pick up approximately almost 25 yards. This is about 23 yards. Let's see what the Herd does here. Since they don't throw the ball much, they got to make up 23 yards in a couple of downs.
Well, they might throw in this sequence. Yes, they're going to go for it. There it is. Up for grabs and intercepted. Ill-advised throw.
19 is by himself sitting here.
Well, that's the 2nd interception of the season against Carter Harris. That did not surprise the Wolfpack secondary.
Well, it's unfortunate. Andrew Marlin was by himself along the sideline.
So the ball goes over. 1st and 10 for Cosumnes Oaks at their 27. Grigsby looking to the sideline as they hustle another player onto the field.
Well, they may get penalized here for this.
Run play gets a few. He falls forward to about the 28-yard line.
Well,
Ridgway's getting a workout.
They didn't, but the officials have got to watch that closely when you pull a guy on from the sideline.
Now this defensive play halted the Elk Grove drive. Carter Harris, you see here, throwing into a crowd. So the interception turns the ball over. Okay. Should say the interception by Rayberg. He tries to go right and has to cut it back. There was no daylight whatsoever, and Ridgway has another carry with not much to show for it. Tough D there. Let's take a look at the Herd defense on this.
Here's a give to Ridgway. Watch the Herd. A lot of black shirts or navy blue around that football. Now see,
Riddick.
Here's a place where Cosumnes would like to use the clock, okay? And not worried about big plays, but are we moving the chains here and moving the clock?
Here's a huge 3rd and 7 in their territory. Looking over the middle. Got a man open, and he makes a diving catch. Wide open, running around in the secondary. Moses again.
Moses Aladeo wide open. That secondary is being exploited.
You'll see here that they were exposed. Who's got him?
Oh, yeah.
Who's covering him?
Well,
a huge first down.
Well, unfortunately, they gave up a number of touchdown passes in that Jesuit game, which cost the Herd.
Well, we've got an injured Wolfpack player being attended to. Hope that is nothing serious, and I think it's Oladejo.
It looks like linebacker Moses Aladeo. I think so also.
He's had quite a ball game tonight. He's been part of the significant difference, and a roughing the passer call. So
I think he's going to be okay.
He fell hard. There it is. Nice camera work, guys. Trying to see.
Yep.
He clunked his knee on that. Boom. Right there.
Great camera work. They're getting him up. I think he's going to be fine.
Well, Wollstonecroft had the coverage on that.
Big series. The Herd has really got to hold them. I'd say to 3 or less, preferably less, so they can come back and go ahead.
John Heffernan concerned. Time becoming a key factor with 7.5 to go. The Wolfpack, by way of the penalty and the play, have reached the Elk Grove 31. That won't work. That play was busted from the beginning.
Well,
they had some nice action there by Kylan Fonts and help with Blake. They lost about a couple of feet on that.
Excellent job by the defense. Nowhere for him to go.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 from the Herd 32. Clock rolling along. 6:50 to go, nearing midway 4th. A 4-point Cosumnes Oaks cushion. The comeback reminiscent of last year's game and the Elk Grove comeback. Penalty thrown. Delay.
Dead ball. Delay a game on the offense.
Of game.
5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
How many is that? 5?
5. That was the 5th one. And along with the illegal procedures. Wow.
Hard to believe. Yet they're sitting on a league. sitting on a lead in Elk Grove territory with half a quarter to go. Go figure. Okay. 2nd and 16 after the penalty. Grigsby to throw. Fires. Overthrowing and broken up.
Well, he was well covered. He had a man on either side of him.
Penalty dropped in the backfield.
Roughing the passer, I believe, again. Oh.
Holding against the pack. Wollstonecroft, one of those 2 deep defenders. So,
Ten-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
Thank you, Chris.
Well, this is amazing. They were on the 30-yard line, 31-yard line with 1st and 10. They are now on their 46-yard line.
Looking at a 2nd and 16 from their own 46 with 6.5 to go. Heavy pressure. He throws back, and it's a catch. What a play there. They're shy of a 1st down, but they get back plenty of that yardage around the 25.
Rayberg, I'll tell you, if you look at that play again, that ball hung in the air, and we had no reaction out of the defense.
Let's take another look at it. And how many times have we seen the defensive back behind the receiver?
Here it is.
Behind the receiver.
You see it again.
29 yards on that 2nd and 33. Football at the 25 with a 3rd and 4. Long count, 5.5 to go. Throw for the corner. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
And the defender went down.
The defender fell down and he was unguarded. And just like that, another touchdown. 35 yards on that completion as Matthew Kendall fell down in the coverage.
And Jennings looked wide open. Or was it?
No, it's
Turner.
Not, I don't think so.
Turner.
Is it? Okay. Well, how about that? 35. On for the PAT. Duarte trying to tack on another point. The lead is 10. Spotted, nearly blocked, booted a mile, and got it. Another look.
Grigsby back to pass. The defender goes down, falls down, and now
undefended.
You see Jennings wide open.
And that, yes, it was Jennings, of course.
Jennings wide open.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. This thing really getting wild.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Well, things continuing to turn away from the host Elk Grove Thundering Herd after they posted a 12-0 lead. It's been 23 unanswered points by Cosumnes Oaks, and Jennings has been a big part of this comeback.
He certainly has.
Picked up outside the 15-yard line, and that's about it. So this game getting real chippy now with 5:24 to go. So they cash in on the interception and take the long way to do it. Now it's going to take 2 scores by Elk Grove with a stop in between. Tough assignment.
Well, you don't score that quickly when you're not throwing the football, Will. It's going to be interesting to see if he's going to let Harris throw the football.
apparently another injured player, hopefully just a cramp. They're looking at the left leg. This has been a wild turnaround, every bit as wild as last year's game we televised, when Cosumnes Oaks had a 10-point lead with 9 minutes to play, and Elk Grove ran off 20 straight points.
Well, they need some points now. They need some points, as you see the coaches talking to the players, and with 5:24 on the clock, you've got to be able to put the ball in the air. And this is not the way Elk Grove would like to win it, but they're going to have to not just stick to the ground only, certainly. And, you know, again, with this vaunted running attack, you rarely see a team run a screen pass when you run this football, a triple option.
Up to the line. Elk Grove shocked right now, down by 11 here midway fourth. Carter Harris trapped and dropped. Well, that play didn't go like he wanted it to. He tried to get outside here, as we see on the replay, and nothing doing. No gain, 2nd and 10. He's going to roll and look to throw, and does, and has a receiver who's bumped hard but stays on his feet. What an effort there, and that looked like unnecessary roughness on that grab by Hunter Hall.
No, we got an inquiry by head coach Heffernan, who felt it was a head-to-head knock out of bounds. That's what he's complaining about to the officials.
Wow, they don't even acknowledge that. They're just going to go right on with play here, and the clock started. Under center, up the middle. They grind out about 5.
Well, let's see what kind of a measurement he gives them here. It appears to be measurable. Wow! They put it back about a foot or 2.
They're calling it 4th down.
Woo!
Okay, we got a stoppage here. Hold the phone. Let's grab some order here.
I don't believe that mark. Wow.
Well, that is, now we've got our umpire motioning up here to the press box. Maybe changing the time. Let's take another look at that previous play.
All right, here's the play again. You see Harris rolling out. He gets hit.
Definitely head-to-head. Definitely. Right in front of the whole world.
Wow, I can see why Coach Heffernan is complaining about that.
Oh, yeah. That was...
And then we have a spot foul. We have the marking of the football.
That looks like a first down to me. Okay, reluctantly, but granted. This has been a wild, bizarre, very peculiar game.
Well,
taking some crazy turns and twists.
It's a 2-possession game. Okay, it's a 2-possession game, and that's why Elk Grove has got to be in a hurry.
They start the clock, 4:13 and rolling. What can they do with it? Fake it, pitch it, and
get out of bounds.
Hunter Hall out of bounds. They do move the chain. And clock stopping at the 4:05.
Okay, we got about a second down and about 7, and he's got to run a play action pass, and they got a max protection. There you see a pitch out to number 11 Hall getting knocked out of bounds.
Harris wants to throw and he cannot. Dropped for a huge loss. What a play. Tristan Weaver.
Tristan Weaver coming into this game with a number of sacks. Has another one.
A 10-yard loss. I felt he was definitely one of their best defenders, but did not draw a starting assignment despite his sack total, but he's come up big on a few plays, including that one.
Yes, he has. Key play.
3.5 to go. 2nd and 16, 3rd and 16 make it. Fire left. There's a Riddick to the middle of the field and dropped crossing the 40.
Well, they got to go for its 4th down and about 7 or 8. Will, this is the play. They've got to move. They've got to get at least a 7 to 8 yard play here. Okay, here we go with the screen. And not enough.
4th down. He rolls. Harris looking, firing. Incomplete, going for Riddick with the defense there. And Riddick is shaken up on the play. He's okay, it looks like. 2:48 to go. Coverage out there applied by Rayberg. Let's take another look at that pass play.
They're blitzing their linebackers. Harris under pressure.
High throw on the move, incomplete, and the ball goes over. 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground naturally to chew up some of the clock.
Now Elk Grove's got to use their timeouts.
Take another look. Grigsby hands it to Ridgway, who's played a splendid game this evening. Timeout on the field. Well, this game will be looked upon by both of these head coaches as a significant turning point in this 2019 season. Who knows what will transpire after this? They're both still alive. But a dramatic shift in this one in the same abrupt way as last year.
Yes.
Sweep right, turn the corner, boom! That looked serious. How about that? You know, Jennings has been all over the place tonight.
Oh, yes. From, offensively and defensively, he's made the big plays tonight.
Another look. Well, Coach, was this helmet to helmet?
Here we go, trying to turn the corner.
I think it was. I mean, that's right out in broad daylight, isn't it?
Well, it's the second one we've seen tonight. Not called.
In the same spot, right in front of the Elk Grove bench, so I don't get it. I did hear that there was an ongoing epidemic of people losing their vision. I don't know to what they could attribute that. Maybe the wildfires, but those two plays right there were.
I mean, You don't need replays to see those.
So where we stand now is 2:32 left in this one, and Cosumnes Oaks in that comfortable position of 3rd and 6, trying to chew up some more this time while they sit on an 11-point lead. Little reverse action there.
Well, that's a huge run with that crisscross action. They faked it to Jennings and came back against the green with it. I like that call.
Me too. Jennings was the
Yeah.
motion guy, and Ridgway
They ran
it. Let's take a look here.
Good cross action. Watch this. Fake to Jennings, give to Ridgway, and White. Excellent. I thought he's going to move the chains. Now he's got 4th and half a yard.
That was a nice play by Archuleta.
Yes, we liked him. He's had a big game.
He brushed off that block and made part of the tackle.
Elk Grove only has 1 timeout left here, and
we're going to come right back after this short break.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Two minutes, 15 seconds left in this football game. And the value now of victory as it relates to the Delta League Championship is at an extreme point with Cosumnes Oaks holding the edge here. They run right, and Grigsby slides out. I don't think he really wanted to stop the clock, but
no, he didn't. But you know what? He's moving the chains. And quite frankly, with Elk Grove with 1 timeout remaining, watch Grigsby here. Hold on to the football. Protect the football. Number 1. Oh, he said he's not out of bounds. The clock is running.
Well, I don't know why they stopped the clock, unless it's a called timeout here by half.
Yeah, this is Elk Grove's last timeout right now.
So we go almost to the final 2 minutes here, and after a dreadful first half, Cosumnes Oaks and Grigsby flipped the script.
Well, they did, and of course, we have a big one coming up next week.
We do indeed, and just to be more specific about that, we are going to go to higher ground, you could say, up the hill further, where we'll find out if the big dogs are able to run the table again, and that would be the Folsom High Bulldogs as they play host to Sierra Foothill League rival Del Oro. What do you think, Coach?
Great rivalry, and we should have a big crowd up there. Del Oro, you know, it's not over till it's over, because Del Oro certainly will put up a fight against anybody. We saw a great game up there with Oak Ridge, and I'm sure we'll see another great game at Folsom.
Oh, I fully agree. The sweep gets nowhere as the clock rolls under 2 minutes now.
Well, Elk Grove needs to, in a hurry, cause the turnover, because the clock is ticking away. 1:47 to go, and Elk Grove's out of timeout. So what they're going to see is Cosumnes Oaks use the clock, keep it on the ground, and they may take a penalty along the way. They're not worried about it. For this time, I wouldn't mind taking a delay of game penalty, not like you did before.
That's why you're the coach. And let's see what they do with it. A kneel down on 2nd down. 1:13 and rolling. This is one of those games where both coaches, especially Coach Heffernan, will look back at the many lost opportunities.
Very definitely, as he looks back in that first half, where they could have very easily put 1 or 2 touchdowns on the board and did not. They had all the opportunity.
As we had mentioned earlier, next week, Elk Grove plays an unusual non-leaguer against one of the top teams in the area, Oak Ridge, while Cosumnes Oaks circles the wagons to wait for the invading Davis Blue Devils in a game that will determine the Delta League Championship. And that, quite likely, is going to be the final play of the game. You see a jubilant Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack ball club. And before the clock even runs out, the players are proceeding in their handshake line to show a resemblance of good sportsmanship among these Delta League rivals. And that is game. It is in the book, and it will officially be a 23-12 Cosumnes Oaks victory after the Wolfpack trailed 12-0. Evidently, they do well remember last year's comeback, and Coach Betancourt congratulating Elk Grove players, which is certainly a lot easier to do when you win the ball game.
It certainly is. It makes it much easier.
Well, rookie head coach Andrew Betancourt has guided his team to victories over Monterey Trail, Jesuit, and now Elk Grove. But he'll have to knock out Davis next week to run the table and capture that Delta League Championship. But
yes,
what a year for Betancourt and the pack.
First head job here at a major school, and certainly as he looks back, only one league loss, and that was quite an upset at Franklin, and perhaps that woke them up.
Evidently it did, despite the slow start. So we see some sportsmanship and some friends, remaining friends after the game. So it's been a wild one. Don't wander off now. When we come back, we'll have the usual post-game features for you, including announcing our players of the game. Stay with us.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
Bye-bye. Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Selfie. Nailed it.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening in Elk Grove, where tonight, in a Delta League battle of some importance, evolved in a rather peculiar game, but a dramatic turnaround and momentum shift, and a remarkable victory by visiting Cosumnes Oaks as they stop Elk Grove by a final count of 23-12, coming from behind with 23 unanswered points to neutralize that early 12-0 deficit. And Coach Domino a virtual carbon copy in terms of the extent of such a dramatic turnaround, except opposite teams. Last year it was Elk Grove running off 20 straight late in the fourth. This year, Cosumnes Oaks returns that favor.
They certainly did. Being down 5-0 in that first half and kind of self-destruction, really, between all the penalties and the turnovers, etc., it's no wonder, as we mentioned, they weren't down much further than 5-0. But coming up with 14 points in that third quarter was huge. Grigsby got hot. And then 9 more in that fourth quarter, 23 points, all 23 coming in the second half, and holding Elk Grove to only 7 points in the second half. So when you think about it, we're giving credit to that offense, but they held Elk Grove to 5 points in the first half and 7 points in the second half. So give the D some credit as well.
Moreover, it was a 12-0 edge. They got their 7 to add to the 5. So that's 23 straight to close it out. Very impressive. And there was a safety also involved in that run.
Well, it's rare that you get 2 safeties in one football game. I mean, that's rare. And we saw it tonight, 1 on each side, the balance. So, again, we said at the halftime we're going to see more scoring in the second half. We certainly did. And now it all boils down next week where Davis comes to Cosumnes and finalize that Delta League title.
Well, that'll be quite a ball game to see, and I'm quite sure they'll have a tremendous crowd there because Cosumnes Oaks knows what's at stake, especially after the enthusiasm here tonight after this victory, and certainly Davis is going to show up in strength with the idea that they can win the title with a victory on the road.
Yes.
That will be a heavy combustible game right there.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. If they can win one there on the road, and that shapes up to be a classic football game. Davis coming back after 2 losing seasons, having a tremendous year this year in this Delta. As we said way back, go back about 8 weeks back, Will, and we talked about how tight this league would be, and now we've seen it the last couple of weeks.
We have indeed, and we knew that early on the way the balance of power was shifted around and jumbled up, that this was a wide-open Delta this season, and the issue is still in doubt until Week 10 is finalized.
Yes, and we even we had one more football team in there. Didn't we? Had Elk Grove, Cosumnes, Davis, and Jesuit with a shot. Early in the season, we felt Pleasant Grove had a shot as well.
No, it's a very interesting composition now in the Delta League. This is the second season that Cosumnes Oaks has been in the Delta, and certainly they're right in stride with the rest of those teams. And the revitalization at Pleasant Grove you're speaking of made them a very provocative ball club this year.
Well, we certainly did. They certainly deserve coming in. They're a big enough school to play in that Division I. They have the enrollment that warrants that. The team that we didn't want to see leave the Delta was Monterey Trail.
No, we didn't, and I just I regret that decision. I don't think it was in the best interest of the area, but that was beyond my control. In just a moment, we're going to shift our attention, because at this point in time, as we always do, we select a player of the game from each team, and Lauren Goodman will be interviewing them. So let's show you who we have gone with in this game, a wild one, as Cosumnes Oaks. Jennings, a remarkable performance, offense and defense, big catches down the stretch, and quarterback Carter Harris, not his best game, but another exquisite 65-yard touchdown run. Lauren Goodman is standing by with our players of the game. Goody?
I'm here with both of the players of the game, being able to get everybody in after this tough one. I'm going to start with Carter from Elk Grove. Your numbers called a lot in this triple option. Tell me one thing you've improved on this season to get better, as your numbers have shown throughout this year.
The chemistry between our players have gotten a lot better from last year. And I think our line knows what to do more. And then just the whole flow of the offense is a lot faster, and I'm allowed to work like at my speed.
Now, talking to your coach throughout this week, he just talked to me about your leadership and just how you've grown and developed in that position as the leader on this team. What was some of the conversation like through your team during those tough moments as this game was fought out all the way to the end?
I'm just trying to lead by example and make plays for my team. That's all I could do. I could just try to keep their heads up and have them not quit and just have them on my back and just lead them to victory, which didn't happen tonight, which is all props to CO. They played hard.
Now, overhearing your coach and kind of his sentiment of, we know the season is not over. This isn't one and done. You guys have a lot more to go, especially with these opportunities to push in the playoffs. What is your focus in helping this team kind of respond back from this win and get going for playoffs?
We just got to stay hungry and have better practices during the week. We got Oak Ridge next week. That's all we can focus on right now, and that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you, Carter. You had a good game today. Now, for CO, I'm here with Brandon. Brandon, you came out big in the second half, pretty much doing whatever you want. What got you going to get these big plays?
Me and my quarterback, Anthony Grigsby, we seen where they were running cover 3, so we took advantage of that by going at the alley player. So we got a lot of D-balls going. We had that connection. We talked about it in the room at halftime, and basically we saw what was going on, and we took advantage of it.
Now, we obviously saw that you felt like you had a mismatch in coverage on you. What coverage were you seeing, and how were you trying to respond to that coverage and kind of just make plays for your team?
Once I seen they were going, man, I knew I was better than that corner, so basically I went backside and I got that ball.
Now, your team stepped up really big, responded from last year's game, which was a nail-biter just like this one. How does this game feel? Your team celebrated. Coach got a bath tonight. What does this game really mean to you guys, and how are you guys going to keep pushing forward?
It's not really that much. You know, we came into we had a bye week. You know, we knew what we were going to do this week. We had a bye week. We came in strong, and we knew our keys to read and everything like that. So basically, we came in, we knew we were going to win.
Congrats again, Brandon, on being our player of the game. Now, I'm here with Coach Betancourt, first-year guy, kind of drenched right now. Coach, talk to me about the emotion and your team kind of just celebrating at this end. What did this win really mean to you guys?
You know, it was an exciting win because what it does is it keeps our goal of winning a Delta League title alive. We knew if we wanted a title, it was going to go through Elk Grove, and we had to get this win. And obviously, we still got one more to go, but it's the right step in the direction we're trying to head.
Coach, you talked about your team responding in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter. What did you see out of your team that really made you say, okay, they're ready to ball, they're ready to play?
You know, we went into the locker room and actually didn't even talk X's and O's. We kind of laughed about how we just shot ourselves in the foot over and over and over, and give credit to Elk Grove for putting us in situations where we mentally collapsed and hurt ourselves. And, you know, we went in there and I just asked everybody, is this as good as it's going to get? And they said no. And I said, well, look each other in the eyes and decide what you all want. You know, we talked about there's a wall in front of us, and we got to go through that wall, go over that wall, go under that wall, however we got to do. You know, we got to get through that and get to the other side. And third quarter was that opportunity to do it. And defense made multiple stops and gave us opportunities to get our offense rolling. And once we got rolling, I felt like we were in a groove, and it didn't matter what we could do. I felt we can run, we can throw the ball, but, you know, we came out on top.
Coach, now this week when I got to see you in practice, you talked about your players kind of taking on your energy. The entire game, probably from first snap, you're up on the sidelines, energetic, just passionate. How does that emotion from you trickle down to your players and from your coaching staff?
Energy is contagious, and, you know, so I took it upon myself after our last game versus Franklin. I felt like my energy level was low, which then contagiously affected our team, and it became a cancer instead of being contagious in a positive way. You know, so I went back to my old self, yelling and screaming, losing my voice. You know, and it wasn't anything about us not playing well. It was about us not executing and bringing the effort. And, you know, and so it was funny is at half, they looked at me on the way in, they were jogging past me like, Coach, we're good. Like, that's all they got, you know. We got this. And, you know, it kind of reassured, you know, what we've been working for all year and all summer and every 6 a.m. workout. And, you know, obviously I got a lot of energy, and, you know, I hope it just continues rolling off.
Coach, at the end of your practice that I got to see, you talked about attitude, effort in the next play. How is that motto going to help you guys finish out this season, potentially taking a tie at the Delta League title, and then continue to roll into the playoffs?
You know, the attitude, it's a mentality. You know, we talk about that all the time. It's you got to have a different mentality, and this we tell our kids all the time. This sport's not for everybody. It's a violent sport. It's a sport that demands a lot. It demands mental, physical, and spiritual stuff to get through it. And you know, taking that, and you know, we have tomorrow off. It's the first day off on a Saturday in a long time. So they're, you know, give them a day to rest, and then you know, 6 a.m. on Monday we bring our hard hats and our boots, and we get ready to go to work again.
Thank you so much, Coach. Great win tonight. Will.
Thanks, Goody. Yes, it was a great win for Cosumnes Oaks this evening, defying all the adversity piled up against them in the first half, much of it piled by themselves. But Coach Domino, they were able to work their way through it and flip the script, and it was indeed a game of two contrasting halves.
Well, it certainly was, and when Mighty Mo swung, the momentum of this game really turned around. And as we approach this and give you a finalization, we're going to look at the stats, the final stats, which here we go. Rushing yards, 122 versus 209. That 209 is only half the yardage that Elk Grove averages per game. Okay? Here's the huge difference. Passing 240 to 15. And that was huge. And certainly big play production out of Grigsby in that second half when he had to come up with some clutch plays. And there were receivers wide open. Total offense 224, 362. First downs are close. Penalties, very close. Turnovers, four, I believe, all in the first half. And 2 by Elk Grove that were costly, and interceptions and time of possession almost even. So as you look at those stats, certainly the thing that singles out is if you forget that, which all occurred in the first half, the 4 turnovers, then you look at the passing yards. They only had 19 passing yards in the first half, Will, and came up with a total of 240. So huge difference in that second half.
The big difference was Grigsby's accuracy, because his receivers were open in the first half. He just wasn't getting them the pill. But that changed in the second half. And, of course, as we know, Jennings made some terrific grabs. And suddenly the bombs were dropping. And, you know, it was an abrupt flip in momentum and in the lead.
Well, it certainly was. And as you mentioned, Grigsby was a little underthrowing in that first half. Step late, ball behind, but he got the nose of the football up and got the ball out early and let his receivers go to the ball.
Yeah, he was indecisive in the first half and not really looking confident in his throws. That changed in the second half. He was winding up and, you know, putting some zip behind those passes, and he's got the good receivers. And we saw something else too. We saw, as you had alluded to, the Elk Grove secondary being victimized, you might say, repeatedly. And it wasn't just completions. Their guys were wide open except for that deep throw to Jennings where the defender was there.
Well, they run those vertical routes, and they tried to, particularly against a 3-deep secondary. And certainly the safety helps out on one side, and they throw to the other side. And like you said, they were wide open, and that's a good secondary Elk Grove has there. It's just they gave Grigsby time to throw the football and time to throw the long ball, and certainly Jennings worked his way and got wide open. Great read on the run.
And an intangible factor that really was part of the significant difference. With all the adversity piled up against Cosumnes Oaks in the first half, they did not become demoralized. However, when things started to go the other way and Elk Grove was being penalized and turning over and stuff, I saw the fire come out of them to a noticeable measure where they were not playing like confident football and championship caliber football.
And it's not the way Coach Heffernan and his staff wanted it, but once you have a running football team doing a great job running triple option all year long, winning football games, averaging over 400 yards per carry, and then suddenly forced to come from behind and not much left on the clock, and they're not used to having to win games via the passing route.
So we can certainly say that whatever Coach Betancourt is doing to hold his ball club together as a first-year head coach there, it seems to be the right medicine that these young Wolfpack players need right now. And if there was going to be a time in this game tonight when they would have folded their tent, it was when Harris ran for the 65 touchdown to make it go to 12. Momentum-wise and certainly psychologically, that would have been the point where a weak team would have folded.
Exactly, but on the change of possession, Cosumnes Oaks then scored 14 unanswered and eventually 23 unanswered, but 14 quickly in that third quarter. And that was a huge quarter for them to score 14 in the third quarter after being shut out in the first half. And like you said, there's the character of your team showing up, and that reflects both on the staff and the players who have bought into the program.
Certainly have, and so looking ahead now, certainly one of the priorities for Coach Betancourt will be to keep his team grounded, so to speak, with all this momentum and enthusiasm. And Coach Heffernan's going to have to rally his troops. They've got the non-leaguer up the hill against Oak Ridge, and they're going to be a playoff team, so he's going to have to, work his ways to have them forget about tonight's collapse and move forward, with a positive attitude.
Yes, well put, because Davis comes into town to play Cosumnes next week, and once again, the only chance Davis has is they've got to win the football game. And likewise, so does Cosumnes Oaks. So it's another title game for the Wolfpack. Now, when you talk about a non-league game, I know this, that in Coach Heffernan and Coach Cavalier from Oak Ridge, it's a non-league game, and you can say, who cares? But I'm going to tell you, both those guys care. And let me tell you where they come from, because you don't want to go into the playoffs. They're both going to be playoff teams with a loss. You've got to go in there with a positive attitude, and those kids, winning a non-league game against a quality opponent is important on your step into the playoffs.
Well, truer words were never spoken, and spoken as the Hall of Fame coach that you are. So we'll see how that shakes out. But tonight in Elk Grove, a remarkable come-from-behind comeback victory in dramatic fashion by visiting Cosumnes Oaks, placing the Wolfpack somewhat in the driver's seat for the Delta League title. And for Coach Heffernan's Elk Grove Thundering Herd, there will be another day. So that's the way it shakes out tonight here on the campus of Elk Grove High School. A 23-12 victory come from behind fashion by Cosumnes Oaks on homecoming night here for the Thundering Herd. So, with our appreciation to the Elk Grove High School administration and grateful acknowledgement to game director, our executive director, Gary Martin, Jim Domino, Lauren Goodman, our ace statistician. Mr. Bimson has put the numbers together beautifully again. I'm Will James. We thank you for joining us tonight, and as we always do, look forward to the next occasion when we can cross your path. So long, everyone.
This program from Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento, 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.